Okay, so hopefully a lot of you are watching this still. In fact, actually, what I'll do is, sorry about that. Yeah, I thought I got all these stuff going on here, and I thought, oh God, I better. I thought I better turn it off. I turned myself off, but I didn't turn David off. Oh, that's all right. So there was nothing said there. So some of you may realise that I'm going to be a dad again, but you know, there you go. Keep that to yourselves. So 42 watching. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a few minutes because it's 43 people now. I can't remember how many was watching the last one. So I'm going to just, right, I'm just going to get any more come in, and then we'll get started, and I'll be until you want me, until you're fed up. Last call for the bus. Right, okay, so I'm going to shut that one down now, so they're all there. Everyone can see we've got the new channel. I'm just going to shut that down, and then I'm going to open this one. Why am I telling you this? Pop out chat. There we go. Does make life a little bit easier, actually. Right, okay. Okay, so that's there. Right, I'm just going to get my questions up again. Let me pause that. I assume everyone can see it and it's all okay. Oh, let's turn that off. Right. Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for some questions. Do I need that now? I don't need that now, do I? Right, lads. Dave Stevenson. Oh no, I've got a few here. Let me just go for these questions. Okay. Right, I'm just going to copy and paste a few of these over so I don't lose them, and then I'll answer them. Steve's audio needs work, probably, yeah. Right. Your mic is on the wrong side of your head. Okay. Yeah, Dave. Oh, yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it, if you could buy 10. Right, so let me go for these questions. Right, I've got one for Vox. If we give our best and this Kickstarter goes live, how far is keyboard and estimated price range with the keyboard inside? The keyboard is a massive discussion. And let me just show you this picture. And I'm just going to put my picture in there. I'm not actually sure why I need it in there, to be fair, but it might be useful. Integrate webcam. Right. Well, actually, we'll put that in there. Yeah, there you go. Be clever. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is it's going to be quite tricky for me to do this and answer questions. So if I've missed your question, I do apologise. So the question was about the Kickstart and the keyboard. So you can see here, right below me, is the new keyboard. And for those that don't know, I got it up. So here's the new keyboard. In fact, actually, let me show you the old one. Now, I believe, to be fair, you should go out and buy a nice mechanical keyboard, swap the PC keys, and then make it, like get a nice mechanical keyboard for about £70. Connect it up, fine, okay? But if you want to put your MIDI keyboard in, which like this with the old one, you see, but this was the slim one, okay? But the new one is slightly different because it's got an angle. Now the reason for the angle is it's got a board inside, which is a key rasp. So this is really for the 1200. I may do a 600 version later. This is for the 1200. Okay, so it sits in there and it works beautifully. I'm going to show this off on Thursday and Saturday. You can see the. Can you see the there? They're meant to be up. I completely messed it up. The whole cluster is meant to go up, so I've actually had to take the keys off and stick them in. Just for pictures, okay, so to see if anyone spots it. But so that having now got a prototype that is it's a great case actually. It's allowing me to let let's make this a little bit bigger, shall we? It's allowing me to play with the idea, for example, of putting in things like the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so I'm kind of experimenting with sticking Raspberry Pi in there as well. So I'm looking into that. You have to remember it's quite small. Yeah, you're not going to get Vampire or anything like that, but you might be able to get Raspberry Pi in it. Now, to me, it's like if you've got a keyboard spare, or there's a keyboard you can buy, and you've got a dead computer, then maybe this is a good way of using it, the keyboard again. So you know, I am going to do that. Now, it doesn't matter if the Kickstarter dies. If the Kickstarter, which God, I hope it doesn't, because I want to make these cases. But if it does fail, this will not, because the Patreons, people who have been supporting me, and as I've always said, if you put $1 in a month, okay, it allows me to do this because it's paying for the prototyping costs, allows me to buy the board, allows me to buy things. Because I've spent so much money, I had to stop. But this has meant I can continue. So even if the case doesn't happen, I can carry on with this. It won't give me enough money to fund the tools unless I had thousands of people doing it. But so yeah, that case will be, I think it's going to be quite nice. Now, as I said, I may do a 600 version. I'm experimenting now with pushing that over, because obviously you can get, Pi's are tiny, and you can just slot that in there and it'd be great. So I think it actually might work. The real problem is the connecting the cables internally without having things coming out. So that's something I've got to look into. But I may make, like on the back of the case, there's a user port. I may make a user port in here which you can modify and do what you like with it. Okay, so that's where my head is. But I'm going to show that to in Greenford on Thursday and at Swag on Saturday. Right, now I'm going to have to try and keep up with these questions, because there is a lot of questions in here. Am I missing the video overlay? Keyboard fit. I think we're right here. Right, so in fact, is Neil still here? Neil, okay, it's a question for you, Neil. If you're still here, can you get me on Messenger? Let's see if you're there, because just in case I miss any questions. I'm not sure if you're actually on Facebook, but if you are, just in case I miss anything. Right, let me just go through these. Right, so I've done Vox's question. Oh, estimated price range. I'm really kind of not sure about this yet, but it's around £40 to £50 for the case. Okay, roughly. Now, I'm going to give discounts to Kickstarter. Sorry, I'm going to give discounts for the case to my Patreons based on what they put in, and I'll give more information about that. But the case itself, between £40 and £50. Okay, I haven't got the final prices yet, but it will be in that range. And it may be made out of aluminium. So that's that. Did you get the keyboard case in fit the keyboard pop? Yeah, it fits fine. Apart from the fact that the arrow key cluster, yeah, completely in the wrong place. So that was just one of those things. It's called, they have a technical term for it. It's called being a dickhead. I should have raised it up, and God's sake, it's the only thing, because I didn't model the keyboard. So, and I just took the dimensions off the old one, forgot to lift the whole thing up. So it's a really simple 10 seconds on the model. So the next version will be fine. But it does mean for this one, the cluster doesn't work. But it does work very well, and really well. So I was quite surprised. And someone actually kindly, I did a video saying, "Oh, the LEDs aren't going to work on the 1200." Well, they do. They plug in. So I'm going to get that going as well. And that means as I did say, that the making a mess of the prototype has given me time to sit back and go, okay, I've got the metal work, so I can. It's basically how it's going to be, and I can fiddle around with it and just play with it and see what I want to put in there and that kind of thing, which I think is going to be actually really useful. What was the word checkmate referring to, the prices strategy, David? I don't know. I'm just, if you're talking about back in the early days, no, there was no. It was. Do you know? I don't even know why we called it Checkmate. It was actually called, the company was called Checkmate Digital Limited. I don't know. I don't remember. I mean, God, it's 30 years ago. So I know. I mean, it's nothing to do with pricing strategy. As far as this case is concerned, it was just purely. It was a name that I thought would people. Well, there was a number of factors that made me do it. Firstly, David was doing his book, and then I heard about the book, and I thought, well, you might want to put in there the bit about the Checkmate 1500, which he knew nothing about. and he was really kind. And at some point, way in the distance, I may publish, because I wrote this chapter before I even knew about the book, and I was going to just do a video and so people knew a little bit about my history, but it's in the book, and I may never release it because, as far as I'm concerned, it's in that book. So either buy a copy of it or borrow a copy or get it on Kindle. But it goes into detail. It was so kind of him to put it in there, because I just expected to put the whole thing with 1500. But he put the whole lot in, and I cannot thank him enough for that, because it's nice for people to know what I did. Right, so question: are you considering another live show? I am considering another live show for next week. Would you consider inviting Dave? Do you know what? So many people have said to me about inviting the 8-bit guy, and Bill Murray is the guy. Bill Murray. It's one of those things. It's like, well, why would he be interested? Because for one thing, he's called the 8-bit guy for a good reason, and the Amiga is a 1632-bit. So I know it's getting technical, but but having said that, he is doing I've watched the entire Commodore series that he's done up to 5, and the next one's the Amiga. And I have actually messaged him, but I'm not sure if he's. In fact, I'll tell you while we're doing this, I'll have a quick look, see if he's actually responded. Because it's very hard. I was having trouble getting hold of the guy, and so how do you get in touch with them? Let me see. I don't think I got a response, but no, it's hard to say if I've actually got a response. This thing's not very right. Okay, so I mean, look, if he was interested, because I know he's got this Amiga one coming, possibly. I have got. I'll be honest. I'm unlikely, and I'm not going to say who. I'm trying. There is someone I'm trying to get, but it's probably unlikely, so I'm not going to say. But yeah, I will be, even if it's just me on my own. Unless I can get someone else, I might be able to talk Neil into it. Yeah. So he has a ton of YouTube followers. Yeah, I know. I mean, I get that. I totally get it. I mean, it's exposure's everything, isn't it? Not trouser position, but exposing the project is important. But we have got a few tricks up our sleeve. So we're going to see what's going to happen about that. But I'll let you know. But again, I haven't got that much time to go. And, I don't want to say who I want to have on it. In case I can't, because the chance of me getting the person is like 1%. But I thought I'd try. But to be honest, having David on there, to me, that's pretty much it. I got David Pleasance on, and I'm really glad that you didn't fire any questions about the Checkmate. I know that Neil chucked in a couple of people chucked in a couple of Checkmate questions, but like, did you know about it, that kind of thing. But it was important I let David speak, because that's what you all come for. Right, let me have a look. What we got here? Have I missed? Question: can you get the rock star of the Amiga? David Haney. I have messaged him. He's a busy guy. Right, you can connect. Yeah, I know about that. Is this not working? So, Neil, have I missed any questions? So, come on, right. To be honest, most of you probably know all about the Checkmate 1500 now. So, have you got any? Do you have any questions you want from me, or do I just go to bed early? I mean, I'm quite happy to sit here for as long as you lot want. While you're all here, I'm happy to just sit in here and answer any questions. I'm looking away from you, obviously. Let's make sure this stream is actually working, shall we? Oh yeah, that's okay. Good. Start from the beginning. Start from the beginning of what? Paul, come on. What do you mean start from the beginning? Yeah, I'm Dave Haney. I have messaged him, but it's just so little chance of that. But that would be, I mean, I did invite Tim Jennison, to be fair. Now, you might not know, but Tim Jennison's a legend to me. Absolute legend. Should we keep the motherboard shielding on the... No! Why? Steel! What do you think the shield's made from? Really skinny steel. This stuff's fucking thick steel. No, it's fine. The only thing maybe at the front is plastic at the front, but Christ, no. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Haney really would get the... I know Haney, yeah, but look, you know, I have spoken, don't get me wrong, I've spoken to him, because I wanted to put a message, you know, basically Dave Haney rocks inside the front. As long as I get, because of the moulding, I've got a message, some of you may know, I've got a message inside the case that says, in memory of J. Minor, father of the Amiga, but I also wanted to put Dave Haney rocks. So I've got permission from him, and because we do talk, and I have had permission from him to put that in. He's quite happy with that, because I mean, God, the man is a legend, you know. But yeah, so I did invite him, but it's probably, I mean, 1% chance of that. One question: were there actually working Siamese systems? If you're talking about Siamese system, yeah, of course, there's hundreds. I sold hundreds to Germany. Mostly Germany. Few people bought them in the UK. There's a few in the States. Actually, the video toaster users used to like it because they could control the video toaster from their PC. No, they quite like that. They would, well, not fully, because the toaster's display screen is obviously Amiga display, but there was talk about doing that because technically that would have worked, but it didn't actually really kick off. Saw a registration card on the Amiga face page. Yeah, I'm going to do a video at some point about Siamese system. I think I'm preempting it. I think Neil was quite interested in maybe doing something with it, and he's way better than me. Maybe if I build a system up and then we can maybe play around with it. RJ Michael seems to be really laid back and friendly guy to consider. Oh God, I'll tell you a story about RJ Michael. I was at the Amiga 30th, and he was walking through with Trevor, and I choked. It came up and I got really... I was like a little girl. I didn't know what to say, and he kind of looked at me like a moron and walked off. Yeah, so maybe I'll get a second chance at that another time, maybe. I find AROS. Oh God, hang on, no questions. Right. What about Petro? Go Petro. Oh no, I want Petro. Petro's not getting anywhere near. No. Fucking idiot. No, I've got no time for the man. In case you didn't hear that thing about, you know, when in Stockholm, about 96 or something like 97, I think it was, something like that, just before Gateway bought the Amiga, and we had that the card. In fact, if I show you this picture, bear with me a second. Gateway, here you go. So this card here, okay, I showed everyone in Stockholm that Petro was trying to sell these stupid mouse mats, and I showed everyone that. And he was not even interested. Not interested. Didn't even want to talk about it. No, like whether you think or not. I actually think that could have been the saviour of the Amiga. And, you know, because I wanted to go x86 with it. And we knew that Gateway wanted to run Macintosh software. Anyway, this is a big story. But no, Petro can go. I'm not interested in Petro. AWOS is a little bit picky about past use. It's not picky. I mean, I know what you're saying. But it's not picky. It's the fact that it's like Linux, but without. And no, it hasn't got the Linux kernel in it. People say it's got Linux. No, it hasn't. It's a proper AROS kernel. It has a problem that Linux had many years ago, where drivers. There are so many drivers. People don't realise, and the drivers refresh so often. And there's such a small team of developers to write a graphics drive is huge. I know because I paid for one. It's a nightmare. And it's very hard, and without a massive team, it's just not possible. I mean, look, if you read the book, read the bit I put at the end, okay, and if everybody thought that way and we all worked together, we could do what I've put in there, which is basically use AROS as a source, like Linux, and everyone else can base theirs on it, improve it, expand it, work together, but they're up their own backside. Yeah, so you know, if you want to build an AROS machine, it's fantastic. I do love AROS. It's, you know, I mean, the story, the chapter in his book. In fact, I'll show you. I'm not going to, not page by page. The chapter is called. It's called A Love Letter to AROS. Okay, that's my chapter, and but read it because I think it's quite good. How is Paul Nolan? Do you know what? I haven't spoken to Paul for a long time. I know he's happy. He's very happy. He's in California. He's got a baby. I think one or two kids. He's a whole family man. He's happy as anything. We didn't speak after the Gateway thing fell apart. To be honest, he was completely blameless. He did some fantastic work. From my point of view, when you read in the book, I made a mistake and my whole life crashed. So, but read that because I was completely honest about it. So everything's in that chapter. But Paul's doing very well. I've never managed to get AROS working on any hardware. Yeah, I know it's a nightmare. But look, hey, do you know what? I keep telling people what you need. Buy one of these little puppies, right? Little Acer Aspire costs about 75 quid. It's got an Atom processor. I paid for all the drivers and it works amazing. Yeah, it's not difficult. Fantastic. So there's no excuse. Or if you're going to build modern hardware, it suffers because we haven't got a proper SATA drivers. The ball keeps rolling. We can't keep up. Not unless we all work together. Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Neil. Yeah. How do you interface the slot loading CD drive to an A500 Plus? That's a very good question actually, because it's they're IDE, aren't they? So I can put in a big fat. Oh, there goes the riff. That's a SATA one. Look, you can put a 5 1/4 drive with IDE, and you can put it in there, no problem at all. As for SATA, I have actually got. I haven't tested it yet because I've literally had no time. But there's this. I hope you can see that, which is basically a bidirectional IDE to SATA kit. And I think that will probably help, and you can connect it via IDE. And I think in theory that should work okay, assuming the drivers are happy with that. So it's a very, very good point. SATA's the new standard, everyone. I mean, the slot loaders, they're SATA, so I can connect it to a PC, obviously. But as far as the Amiga side, it's a bit more tricky. So, right. Okay. As far as the Tabor, ask Trevor. Can't say any more than that. I found more problems with Siamese system board, with the system board which I repaired. Oh yeah, see, okay, so system board. Oh no, it's talking about something else. Sorry. No, nothing about 500 expansions. Yeah, no. If you've got 1200, to be fair, you're kind of laughing because you've probably got everything you need anyway. Pop it in, accelerator card, hard disk controller, Vampire when it comes out. As far as the Zorro, because with the 500 we're doing the Zorro board, which is obviously done. But it's very tricky with the 1200 side because it's right in the middle, not stupid place, but awkward place to connect to. And also there's no connectors, so that may come later on. Yeah, specific slot loading drive it's catered for. Yeah, I think I mentioned it on one of the sites, but I'll obviously publicise it. But before, I've actually done the slot loading thing for people with PCs at the moment initially, because of slot loaders, they're all SATA. There's no such thing as an IDE slot loader, that I know of. But yeah, that's quite a tricky one, to be fair. 255 backers, 256 sounds better. Yeah. Someone should update the 1200. All of the Amigas should be updated to SATA. Does Vampire 500 have an ideal SATA port? IDE. As far as I'm aware, I don't believe there's a SATA. I know there's no. I mean, I've got one. There's no SATA port on it, but is there potential update? But you know, there's a lot of obviously technical reasons which I don't have the answer. Question: is the white Amiga case the same colour as a typical 5 1/4 ODD from the 90s, excluding the yellow? And of course, that is a bloody good question. Let's find out. Right, this is going to be quite tricky to see this. Let me actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can create a second. Oh, bear with me. Don't worry, I haven't gone anywhere. I'm just going to go. Right, there we go. Right. So I'm just going to go show you this. So there is my 1010. Okay. And here it's very hard to see. Okay, it's slightly lighter, but don't forget this is 30 years old, but it's, you know, it's in the ballpark. Remember I did this with a poll for the colors. There's lots of choices, but it's called RAL 1013 and it was the most popular. Obviously this matches the Checkmate 1500 case color, even though it's not necessarily going to use, well, some people use it obviously, and it will take a 500 keyboard and it'll take a 1200 keyboard, and I may do a 600 version, but we have to see. My opinion is it's bloody expensive if you're doing this. I mean, if you want to do it, great, but it's bloody expensive. You know, you got 40 or 50 £, whatever it turns out to be for the metalwork. Then you've got 30 quid for this card here. Then you've got a £5 cable, which is nothing. But then you've got this SUM card that goes into the Amiga to connect it. The whole thing comes to around £100 to £110. So it's not cheap. But you know, it's if it's what people want, then yeah, feel free. Is this the good stream? This is the only stream. Because I tried to speak to David privately to thank him. I turned my mic off. I hadn't realised his was still on, so I in a panic I cancelled it. So anyway, but that was fine because that's done. That bit was, and I think that's going to be really good. What's the standalone and keyboard question answer? I think so, yeah. But I'll answer it again. Basically, here you go. And I'm gonna, because I buggered it up. If you look, this is for Vox. See them? They're not meant to be up, so they're actually stuck on with sticky pads. But yeah, so I'm gonna do one. But what it does mean is, I'm gonna make a new prototype, and we're gonna put in the Pi. And look into the best way of putting that in, and maybe because you need power and all kinds of things. So maybe make a back plate that can be swapped out, do different things. Okay. Every time I see a 2008, I always see Patrick colours. Yeah, that's actually. Oh, I haven't got it in anyway. Yeah, that's quite true actually. Would you still produce a case if the Kickstarter fails with a few £100 short target? Right. Okay. If it gets to the stage where it's say 1,000, 2,000 shy, and it's about to cancel, I'm going to get friends online to say, look, can you just order a load, and we'll just do that, or I'll pump the money into it, just to get it going. But if it's like thousands, I can't, because the maths doesn't work out. But if I'm not going to allow it to miss out by a few hundred or 1,000, so that's not happening. I'm thinking of picking up a YODD. We're speaking of a Gibbons V4 standalone dimensions. Well, I intend doing. I do. Well, let's go back to this picture. Actually, let's get off of here. There you go. Nah, prefer that one myself. and it also says Kickstarter. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. The vampire, once it comes out, I mean, I've got a vampire and I think it's fantastic, and it's in that machine over there. It's all sitting there waiting to go to a couple of user group meetings at the end of the week. Should make another 10-15 sales. Whoa, read Facebook. Oh, that's interesting. Hang on. Right, where this is a message for this screen. Can you show me where that is before I say anything? I need to see that. Yeah, so could you point me to that? Because I don't know where it is. So I need someone to actually show me that, if you can, please, because I do want to read that if that's up there. So yeah, could you show me the link, please? I do want to read that just briefly, then I can say something on it. No one's gonna say it. Right, I'm just gonna send a message then, because I want to know. Jesus Christ, I hate it when it does that. No. Right. So, yeah, I'd like to see that, if someone can actually point me to that. Right. Could you explain why the name OG case is a combination of check and mate? Don't get that. Company was called Checkmate. One word. Which is better, black or white case? I've got both. The one thing that, just to make you all really jealous, because I've only got one of the fronts at the moment, the plastic or 3D printed fronts. So if it fails, I'm just going to print another one, and I'm going to get them rubbed down, and then I'm going to get them sprayed the right colour and build it, and that's it, me done. So, you know. Is there a possible way to imagine there could be bring some keyboards? Yeah, I mean, I've swapped out keyboards. If you get cherry ones, try and but not copy and paste. Check Stephen's Checkmate page for Trevor's reply. Oh, okay. Oh. Right, okay. that's okay. So I've been talking to Trevor for ages about this, trying to get confirmation. You know, will they have it ready? Now that he's actually put it there, I can talk about it. The board's going to be a really interesting little board because it's at that price point to get out to everyone. Now, I always thought that the case would be perfect for it, and I didn't have to design anything special, to be fair, because it's a mini ITX board, so there was nothing special I had to do with it. But that is really. But I've been struggling a bit to get them to be able to come out and publicly say that. There's obviously concerns, but they've been working hard on it. But I know that it's very close. It's just still. I'm not going to go there. But if he's publicly saying it'll be ready in time, and I know a lot of people will be saying they want to know when will the Tabor be ready in time, and so it's going to make things very interesting because a lot of people are thinking of Empire or Tabor, but I'm going to have both. I mean, I'm just a bit of a collector, so. But I had an X1000 a long time ago because of a number of reasons, cost and that kind of thing. I had to sell it, but I would actually quite like to have the new one. Obviously, I'm just trying to have a room full of my own cases. But yeah, so if you want to pledge for a case, you ain't getting it unless this happens, and there's nothing I can do about it. If Trevor joined in next week with a huge announcement, it might reach stretch. Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously going to have to do something, a bit of promotion on this and to say it's going to be ready. But I must admit that, Trevor's always been fantastic and he's supported the projects I had in the past, like the Amiga and stuff like that. And he is probably the best thing the Amiga's ever had. So I think he's a lovely guy. He laughs a lot as well. God. But yeah, so that's really good news. It's now official, which is really good. Yeah, so that's good news. I'm pleased with that. Whether it will make a difference on the cases. Oh, look, yeah. Oh, it's gone down. Had you went down one? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. That's the first time it's done that. Yeah, don't worry about that. 8 days to go. Well, that was funny. I can't even got any questions because I'm going to go to bed otherwise. Box. Well, yeah. It's not up to me to hassle. She was lovely. She came on and she spread the word and she shared it on her Twitter following. And I think that was enough. Amitech Fair. Yeah, I think it probably was. Find the Kenor. Met Peter. Oh, Peter Hershenko. I'm assuming you mean Petro Chechenko. In Stockholm 996. Yeah. Question, just seen 4000 Rev B replica, would that fit the case? No, sadly no, because they've made it, I don't know, there's a couple of them. There's one that's got an ATX board dimensions with vertical slots instead of riser slots, but unless this case actually comes out, theoretically you could put a existing 4000, if you made a new riser you could put it in there. What would you like? Oh, that's a good question, Neil. What would you like us to do to help you hit the target? Just contact people. Say, have you heard? Because if I get in touch with them, it's like spamming them, and if it's from me, they, I mean, I have contacted. I tried to contact 8-bit guy because I watch all his videos, and the same thing with laser game guys and a few others, and I've sent emails out. I mean, it's really just a case of just share as much as you can. I mean, just get the word out there. But we've got 8 days. I mean, The guys who are doing the 1200 cases are going to help me with some PR. They got a press release going out, and they're going to be doing an email shot, so maybe that'll help. How does the case size compare to the 3000? Very close, very, very close. It's about 2 inches wider. That's pretty much all there is to it. 1.4. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Yeah. There's one. Yeah, nearly 1500 Checkmate case members, and only 255 pledges. Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean, but I didn't expect all of them to buy it. Obviously, a lot of people are just there for curiosity. You know. 8-bit guy refused to help. Oh, okay. Can't you go Indiegogo? I was gonna go Indiegogo, and everyone said new Kickstarter. I'll be honest. I do. I know I've always said there's no plan B. I do have a plan B, but it's not one that people will like, because basically what it would involve is, because I have to raise 24,000 pounds just for tooling. So if on Patreon, everyone who backed this, we'd have to work something out where they put it in and I raise the money for the tooling so I can make the tooling. Once the tooling's made, then we can do one, and I can literally do a Kickstarter just to advertise it again to say 50 cases, 100 cases, because it's all about the tooling. It's just that probably 25,000, because basically you've got to make, again, it's a bit a little more than that, but say 25,000, make the molds for the front, make 1,000 sets, put them in my loft. Once you've got that, the rest of it is, I can run off 50 at a time, so it's not an issue. So there is potentially a way of doing it, but you know, it's just, I ain't got £23,000. I mean, that's why I did the Kickstarter, and I was on the basis that there was 1,500 people on my site. 250 people said they were interested. In Germany, I had 200 people filled a poll out there. I thought 400 people, and more coming all the time. So you know, I thought it was a good. I mean, I can't lower the amount because of the way it works. You know, I have to, as I said, a third of the cost is the tool. It's just under a third, but say a third of the cost is tooling, a third is manufacturing, the other third, well, it's not even a third, but is the Kickstarter fees and profit, because I need to make profit out of it. And even if the profit is just to make, if I cock up, then I can fund the cock up, if you see what I mean. Can't extend the limit. No, that's not possible. Hopefully it will get a boost in the last few days, particularly with payday coming. Yeah, that's very true. I will say at least 40 people look like they're going to jump on the bandwagon at the end, just from a poll I did recently on my Facebook group. But having said that, you know, it's if it doesn't reach, in, you know, technically it's over. I mean, you probably right. Okay, let me tell you a little story. Right, and Neil, are you still around? I don't know if Neil's still around. Has he gone? He may well have gone. Someone asked me this question, and well, you know, who cares about a new case? I don't want that type of case, and I understand that. I totally understand that, but there is a big picture here. It's not just about a pretty case, and when I say a pretty case, I'm not bigging myself up here because I didn't design the original. All I've taken is a beautiful design and modified it to make it more useful. There is a bigger picture here, and this is my big picture that maybe we can talk about. Maybe this could be something. I'm thinking of doing a video on this basically, but my opinion is that if all the different platforms have got an Amiga case to all go in, and there's right, so we've all got one case, all platforms, all can appear on it. I think that there are millions of ex-Amiga owners out there. Now, a lot of it, I know a lot of it is to do with the Amiga 500 and the 1200, 600. That's the, that's for you guys, that's for me, and that's for all the Amiga fans out there. But there is a bigger picture to this, and this is why we'll take PCs, because there's millions of ex-Amiga owners out there, and a lot of them have retro leanings, and a lot of them miss the old days. Now, if they can build themselves a PC that looks like their old Amiga 3000 or the machine they always wanted, looks really cool, runs everything they want to run, runs Windows, runs Linux, and then we can, if I build the PCs complete, I'm going to bundle Amiga Forever and AmiKit and the whole rabbit hole thing. If you remember rightly, I mean, I've got it on this machine, actually I could show you it, but the whole rabbit hole thing means that as far as they're concerned, they'll have an Amiga laid over the top of their operating system, whichever one it is, and they can run all the old Amiga software, they can run all the games, because the games is a big thing. I know I hated them in the past, but I've come to accept them quite happily now. They can run an Amiga environment. It will bring back the nostalgia, okay? And if we've got these people out there, and they say it was really successful, you've got potentially, if you took a small proportion of the millions of people that left Amiga and went to PC, then you've got potentially all these people that might be interested in a resurrection of the Amiga, and maybe come over and buy another machine and buy a Vampire, that kind of thing. But it will big the Amiga name up. Now I'm a big fan of the Pi as well, and a lot of people say, why do you want to put a Pi in this thing? I mean, that's £35, right? And the case is 159. It's stupid, yeah? But if you look at the other way around, for £200, you've got an Amiga in a big case, and the best Amiga retro and the best Amiga experience, probably, apart from Floating Point, bar none. You run, it's fantastic. I forget PC. I know you can put a fast PC in it, obviously. But it's a great way of getting people into it. So bringing people back in, and I know Eben Upton's a massive Amiga fan. So that's my thinking. There's a bigger picture here. And that was a large part of it. And now, let's be honest, if that takes off, I would make fair amount of money. So there is also that as well. But then you don't do these things without trying to make money. And I'd like to do Amiga as my day job again, because I still think I've got a lot of good ideas, not just what I did in the past and regenerating them, but I do think I've got some ideas, and I think that I think if I could get the community to work together, all of them. My only sad thing is that the Morphos doesn't work on the Tabor. I'm really disappointed about that. But, am I missing any questions? Wouldn't it be cool if Kickstarter gave the initial funders dividends in future sales? Yeah, we'll see. Right, so yeah, as always, the streams actually don't do anything, but then I don't worry about that. It's more about the bottom line is you guys going out and telling people. If you share on your homepage and if it just spreads like that. I have been doing some Facebook adverts as well. But yeah, remortgage 30k worth. No, I ain't remortgaging. I lost my house once because of the Amiga. I'm not doing it again. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I wasn't aware of that business, but I have found out like a couple of months ago about that, about the Morphos not running on Tabor, which is a real shame. But there you go. Let's have a look actually on Amiga. If you go on Amiga World at the moment, there's a banner on there. Let me just no, he hasn't put the sponsored ad. There's a banner up there on Amiga World because it didn't correct the thing either. There is a Kickstarter banner on there. Vampirism, I would have been far more interested in a pre-built Amiga system on Pi in your case. Yeah, I think so too. I tried install Amiga as my Pi and failed completely. Yeah, I was, and I still am. I mean, one of the things I was seriously thinking of doing was doing an Amiga Forever stroke AmiKit, but a cut back version that would work on the Pi. because it's official and it's legal. I mean, the Apollo OS is fantastic, and you could probably make it work on the Pi, but you can't. It's just you just can't. But that's why I've been talking to Michael. I'm going to be seeing Michael, I think, this week, so I'm going to have a good chat with him, because I still think that this could be a good thing. But you know, the one thing you could do, that message from Trevor, I'm going to spread that, obviously, but if you want to spread that around to people, that might help. Oh no, yeah, Neil. No, that was about the whole my big picture thing. Just, you know, just so you was aware of that. That was all, because I'm not sure if I've actually mentioned that. I mean, that was all. Pi to Zorro adapter. Yeah, of course it would. Yeah, but that's not happening. No, I don't think it would work. No, I don't think it'll work. You don't need it. What are you going to put in it? Seriously, you'd want to put a graphics card, sound card. Don't need it. It's all built in. That's fine. PPC is dead. Yeah, but you know, it's still that it makes a nice Amiga OS4 platform for people who can't afford an X5000. But you know, my history is Amiga should have gone on x86 20 years ago. You know, so it didn't, which was a bit sad. David, that's a good question. I don't know. I will say that no, I won't say, but there is. I've been trying for ages. I've even got a Facebook group called Bring AROS to the Raspberry Pi, and some work was done on that. It got a little way, and it worked, but it was not finished. That may be resurrected, because I think the Amiga on a Pi, native, not emulated, native, would be amazing, absolutely amazing. Will you bring a keyboard? Yes, sure. Well, because I'll be taking it to Swag, so I'll have the keyboard with me. Don't laugh at my cock up. Don't pull the keys out. They're stuck on. It does look good, actually, to be fair, but they are stuck on with sticky pads. But that's why I didn't hide it. I mean, you always get the comments that people say, how can you make a mistake like that? Because I'm an idiot. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Paul. Yeah, cool. Hey, Paul. Graphics. God. Them graphics. They actually have made a bit of a difference, I must admit. People see the graphics. But yeah, that has made a bit of a difference. David Pleasance is on. Yeah. No, he's not anymore. Checkmate 1500 Kickstarter is in risk of failing, needs your help. Well, yeah, but there you go. If it fails, it fails. That's just life, isn't it? I was asking a lot. I gotta be honest. I was asking an awful lot for that Kickstarter. I sound like it's finished. Still got 8 days. But you know, it's I really would have preferred. I wanted it 50,000, but I just can't. It was impossible. Because you have to. I've got a spreadsheet, and I sat down with a spreadsheet. I'm looking at it with my head in my hands, going, "Oh Jesus!" Because I was hoping the molds would be 15,000, but actually, if I'd done the original case with just the floppy disks, it would have been about 15,000 that mold, and I could have done the whole thing for 50 grand, and we're nearly there. But let's blame Brill. No, let's not. But it was a brilliant idea, you know, put those different panels and swap them out and so on. But yeah, so that they're like nearly 4 grand each, just the tools for each one. That's 12,000. The whole thing comes to about 23,000. That's why, and then it's a third of 77 something. You know, are you down money person? That's a really good question. Well, basically, I've got 2 cases that's cost me about £1,000 each. But apart from that, no, not really. Oh, I spent a lot of time, but my day job affords me this kind of I'm flexible. So as long as I get the work done, I do. then it's all good. But I won't go bust. But I've invested a couple, 2 or 3. Well, apart from if you look at all the stuff I do for the videos, I mean, that's why the Kickstarter, not the Kickstarter, the Patreon's really good, because it just brings in that money. It just brings in that extra bit of money. I wouldn't have done the keyboard. I wouldn't have done the keyboard at all, and I put that on the Patreon thing because people have backed it. And is there anyone else? Oh yeah, people have backed it, and it's meant I can, it's not coming out of my pocket, the 1200. And to be fair, it's actually a little bit more, and it's kind of recouping a little bit, which is handy. Don't know if you know. Yeah, the trouble is that things change so fast for AROS. We haven't got that many developers, and actually getting people to do it. That's why I was really lucky with my Amiga board. I don't know if many remember it, but if you look it up, fantastic little Atom board. It's still a fantastic board, fully supported, completely supported. But to do that was a lot of work. I mean, I'd put it on. I mean, if you compare it to probably the Tabor, it's probably just as powerful. Is AROS related to AROS on the Raspberry Pi? Basically, it is AROS on Raspberry Pi, but it's Linux hosted AROS on the Raspberry Pi. How much is the Patreon? Oh no, it's $1 a month. Literally, if you add on it, don't do more than $1. Some people have been putting $5 a month. Don't do that. I've got 1,500 people, and if they all put, let's put it this way, it's 1,500 people in my group. If they all put $1 a month, and what's $1 a month? 65p. It's 3 months, you get a cup of coffee. It's nothing. But that would raise money. Now, it wouldn't raise 23 grand, obviously, but But what I was going to say was, if 1,500 people put $10 each for $10 a month for 2 or 3 months, that would raise the money. No one makes an A600K. Should make an A600 Pi. Yeah, I'm seriously thinking, because if you think about it, the A600 is basically that, pretty much. So that's why I'm changing this to move it all the way there, put the Pi in here, and then all they do is they lop that off the board. So I probably will do a 600 Pi, because, but only if you've got the keyboard. I'd hate someone to take a keyboard out of a working 600. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of 600, but I think that's pretty much sacrilege. But if you've got a keyboard and nothing to do with it, this is perfect. I know that Eben Upton, he's doing a video, and he's going to be doing a video about the Amiga and the Pi, apparently. So I spoke to his wife the other day. She's going to put some stuff out for me as well on the Pi site. But A600 users can't use calculators. Yes, they can. It's just harder. Paul, if I pledge for a third case, could you store it in the loft until my man cave is built so my wife doesn't see it? Yes, I'll put your name on it. But don't, please. A lot of people have said, my voice is actually good. A lot of people have said, well, maybe I should buy 2 or 3 cases. Do not pledge unless you can totally afford it. I don't want people doing that. Because that's just horrible. There's an angle. We'll hide your case from. My voice is going a little bit. I suffer a bit from asthma. So. Right. Is there any actual questions you lot want to ask? Because I'm thinking about going to bed. $10 a month storage fee. No, but please, no, don't do that. I mean, I would. I'd leave it in the loft and put your name on it, but don't do that. I don't want you. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not, it's not. Oh, it's gone back up again. That's all right. It dropped. Someone probably went, "No, I don't want to. I don't want 6 of them." No one's taken the 5 pledge yet. But it's quite a few bought free. Yeah. Right. Let me just see how this is still going. Just bouncing me, bouncing forwards. Shipping along would kill me. Yeah, the trouble with the shipping is the shippings are the. It's not so bad for the UK, and it's not too bad for certain parts of Europe. But you know, I mean, I managed to get it down, but buy 5 make a tell. The shipping is a little bit like to the States. I mean, obviously, if it's a success, we're going to look into a way maybe shipping 100 in, literally ship them and ship them on afterwards. I don't know yet because that might save people some money. I'm going to look into that, but I can't quote that. I have to say this is what it costs. Yeah, I mean, Paul. Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, multiple shipping. If I take, I've got at the moment it looks like it's about 90 going. Well, hang on a second. Was that promised? No, I was promised. A lot of people said they were going to buy one. Hundreds. So they may all come at the end. But I think it's probably 75 going to the States. I think. Nearly distributed in the States, not yet, no. I mean, if it's a success, then we can look into that. But you know, at the moment it's a one-off, and then the idea is I end up with ship out 500 cases, just under 500 cases, but still having a lot of 500 sets of plastic, and I can make more. But I'll have 500 sets of plastic, so the next 500 would actually be a much better profit margin. So that would really get things moving. And then, you know, we can maybe do a little bit incentive there, make it a little bit cheaper maybe, but well, not cheaper to buy, maybe work something out, you know, get some out for the dealers and stuff. You're right. Yep, no desktop cases. No, it's something new. I mean, you know, I thought the same thing. There's no desktop cases, hence why I thought maybe the outside world might be interested. It's not for everyone, obviously. But you know, if you've got retro leanings, some may be waiting for the end of the month. Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, a lot of people have already said to me that we can't afford it now. Well, it kind of. Some people don't seem to realise you pledge, but you don't pay. You don't pay until the end of the month anyway, so you can still pledge. You know, at the end of the month, if you haven't got the money, it doesn't get paid, and then I miss out. Udo Bolt, yeah, they were pretty cool actually, I must admit. But there's so many of them around, you know, so many of those things out there. Right. I think that it's probably time I cancel this now and just. Oh, here we go. Right, David, is there any news on Ryzen and Nouveau drivers? Are you talking about AROS? Because no. There's a lot of us trying to. Well, we know how to do this. Actually, to be fair, we know how to get this whole thing done, but it means breaking a couple of taboos and people get the ump. Yeah, Mech Wizard. Oh yeah, so have I. I missed the second AMI TX. Yeah. Right, I'm gonna call this a halt because unless there's any more questions, now we're just sitting here looking at these things and just staring at the screen. So unless there's any more questions, I'm going to cancel the stream because it's been going for a while now, and it's pointless now. So right, I'm gonna wind this up. Same time next week. Yeah, definitely. I'll be here next week. Maybe do something during the week. I'm going to be doing something with Greenford and in Swag in Swindon, and then I'm going to go and see Neil. Looking forward to that. To be fair, back in the cave. So thanks everyone for joining in. I don't even know what the numbers are actually, but thanks everyone for joining in. 64 people still watching, right? Well, thanks for joining anyway. I'm gonna call it a day, and I will speak to you soon. Definitely, there'll be another one next Sunday. So tell everyone about the case, and see you soon. All right. Thanks so much for being here, and I hope you enjoyed that with David because I really did. So speak to you soon.